Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Lady Layer. Today we are live. So if you guys see us talking to someone in the chat, it's because we're live. I just realized I forgot to send you the notes.
And bear with her, y'all. She done got some on her. She got that flu on her back. And
I didn't get no flu. Stop saying that. She keeps saying that I got the flu. I did not get the flu. I have a regular common cold.
Listen,
I didn't have any flu symptoms. No fever. No coming out the front end or the back end.
in the words of Tina, she done got some on her. Okay.
Yes, I got something on me, but it ain't. Don't put that flu on me because I didn't get that. Praise the Lord. Not gonna
Listen. She sound a little crackly. That's why.
Yeah, my voice is just a little going. So anyway, we're gonna jump right on in. We're gonna jump into Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. We also watched Love and Hip Hop Miami, but not much to talk about there.
Right. Same
we don't even
thing.
know. You guys, please tell us in the comments if you guys even watch these shows because Love and Hip Hop Miami in Atlanta is like a hit or miss. Like sometimes
Right.
it's something to talk about, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, and if we don't have to talk about them all together, that would be great. But
Yeah, we won't. But we just trying to stay diverse, try
right.
to switch it up and not just only do Bravo shows. So just let us know if you guys are watching. But in this recent episode, there was a meeting of the side chicks, is what I like to call it. Because
it was Erica
Jasmine, what's his name's baby mama?
Erica Rain, the one who was saying she was messing with Mendici or he was trying to holler at her or whatever.
Her friend. He said, she said he was trying to holler at her friend. She's speaking. Here's my thing with her. You're speaking for someone who's not even here, and that clearly doesn't want to be here.
Right. She clearly wants to keep her situation. So stop trying to blow up her spot.
Yeah, okay? She's like, she doesn't want to come forth. Then why are you speaking for her?
Right. He silenced her. Well, she over there being quiet, so keep it quiet.
So you be quiet too. Where's your proof?
Right. Right. And then Shekinah and Jessica, what's her name?
White. Jessica White. Shekinah is like, why am I here?
Right. She's like, I'm being friends with the main chicks. Okay, what am I doing here?
Right. Exactly.
Shekinah cracked me up because when Jasmine and her friend came in, they tried to smoke on her hookah. She was like, it's more over there for y'all.
Them Atlanta people are funny. They don't like to share hookah either. And I get it because it's like, ew. Everybody uses their own little thing, but they don't like to share hookah. Everybody be like, get your own.
Right. And then so I don't understand Jessica White's role. Like, I guess now her role is to try to out Mendicis too, because she gonna bring her niece or whatever to tell that he was trying to talk to her too. But like I don't get it. Like, she's not with nobody. She's not a real artist. So like, what is the point?
I don't know. With Love and Hip Hop, they just be adding people. And I think because she actually formed friendships, they kept her because she's really cool with Bambi. Her and Carly used to be cool. But I feel like her and Bambi are like this. Outside, I see them hanging out outside of the show too. So I think because she like befriended people, they allowed her to stay or whatever. But anyway, they had this meeting of the minds and they talking about Mendicis, whatever. Erica Banks also is friends with the girl who is the baby mother of Carly's husband. And so she's friends with Carly and friend with the girl. So she kind of going back and forth, which is like very messy. But I do like that when she talked to Carly, she didn't let Carly talk about her friend.
Yeah, she stood up. I feel like she stood up for both of them. Like, even with the baby mama, she didn't let her really talk about Carly.
Yeah, so I will say that. But the whole situation is just messy. Yeah. And Carly and her husband is just like, I don't know. I don't get that either. It's all strange.
Yeah. It's very strange. But I feel like Erica Banks had good intentions. Like, her whole intention is, this is his wife and you the baby mama. Y'all got to be in each other's life. Why have beef? Like, just settle it and be done. Like,
yeah. So I will agree with that. So then we go to, there's a skating rink situation where Santana meets up with Spice and
Santana meets up with Spice. She meets up with he meet up with
what's the girl? Rennie Rucci.
And not Kirk, Jock's wife.
Yeah, Kendra. So they are all, and you guys, by the way, let me just say this really quick. My kids are home, my husband is not. So if you hear my children, that is why. Okay. And
She's a mother.
I'm a mother first, okay? And no drama. We didn't want to just skip out on this episode because it was a lot of good stuff. So we're gonna finish up with Love and Hip Hop because whatever.
Yeah. There were better shows.
But one thing I did want to say is I appreciate Santana for telling Spice that her album was a joke. Because first of all, stop calling it an album.
Right.
It's one track. But she said, I guess in Jamaica, this is what they do. They use one track for several people. Well, we're not familiar with that here in America. That would be what do you call it? A song, like a mixtape song or something. I don't know what you call it, but we're not into it. And then it became a beef rap. So he basically was like, you know, you pushing this album. I didn't want to be a part of that where people just on there like talking about each other. Like that's not real music. And so Spice got upset and was like, I have more streams than you. But I was just really happy that he burst in her bubble because the whole little music situation was just messy anyway. So
and honestly, like no shade, but I never heard of Spice until she came on Love and Hip Hop.
Me either, but I guess she's really big. And people that like listen to dance hall music, no, I can't because I don't know many dance hall artists unless they're mainstream. So I can't really speak on that. But the people that's in the dance hall world, they know who she is. So
yeah, my friend, she's Belizean, so I would listen to like that. Not, I wouldn't say, well, yeah, like dance hall and stuff like that, and we would go to like the little clubs, but I never heard her songs.
Right, so. I was just happy somebody finally said it for real, because I was thinking her like my album and I'm a producer, but you letting people like make diss tracks, like it's so unserious. Anyway,
yeah, they definitely hype her up.
Yeah, for sure. So let's move on to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, y'all.
Yes,
it was intense.
Yeah, this episode was good. Like that, they held no punches, and it was refreshing.
Yes. So we have a 4th of July barbecue at Dorit's house, and Sutton is the first to arrive, and she is greeted by no one.
Yeah, I think that was bad planning on Dorit's part. Like she should have either been downstairs or she should have had somebody else downstairs to greet her guests. Yeah, so I give that to Sutton.
Yeah, I'll give that to her. But she acted like nobody was there. There was plenty of people outside, but it should have been.
Sutton is not a people person, so she would never go outside and just start mingling.
Right, because I think when Kyle came in, she was like, "There's people out here." She's like, "Where?" Like, there's plenty of people outside, but
but that's what she get too, because I need y'all to stop walking in people's house and not ring the doorbell. Had you rang the doorbell, she would have known you was there, and she could have came downstairs and said hello.
Right, that's true.
Like,
excuse me. So then Kyle comes in, and Dorit comes down like maybe 40 minutes later, and something that was interesting that Kyle pointed out is right when you walk in the house, in the entryway, it's a big circle table in the entryway with nothing but pictures of Dorit and PK. Mm-hmm. And it was odd. Like, not to say.
I get it though.
Huh?
I get why she has it though. Like she's still pretending that she married. So it's like a sense of normalcy for her kids.
It's weird though to have it like in the entryway. Like,
it's Dorit.
Yeah, I mean, I've never noticed it there before. Like, they've taken us into her house before. I've never noticed it there before. Not to say she just put it there, but that table in the entryway, you would think maybe there would be like a flower, and then maybe pictures around it. But the way the pictures are just, I don't know. It looked very intentional to me. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. And then of course Kyle Messy gonna point it out. I mean, everybody saw it, but like Kyle gonna point it out.
Right. That wasn't the worst part of that thing to me. The weirdest part to me was that exchange where Dorit is demanding that Sutton give her purse. Like that was so awkward. Like
that was weird. Like if she said it as a joke, like, "Oh, girl, give me that purse," like, and left it alone. Okay.
Yeah, no, she was demanding it. Like,
you owe it to me. I think I deserve it. Like, ooh.
I agree with Kyle. Like, purse. I would have been like, awkward.
Yeah, no, that was weird. Like, cause she let it go on for too long.
Yeah, it looked like she was standing there waiting for her to give her the purse for like at least 10 minutes. Like it went on way too long.
Like we know Sutton got money, but she's not just gonna hand over.
A
That's a Birkin,
Birkin.
right? Or
Yeah.
Hermes bag.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
why would she?
listen,
No, not
it
at
looked
all.
like Dorit was about to fight her. Like,
Oh, it was like, oh, she was serious. I'm like,
yeah.
girl, calm down.
When I saw that, I knew this barbecue ain't gonna go the way people think it's gonna go.
No, it's not gonna go well at all. Well, I mean, Sutton, she didn't want to be there from jump.
Right.
If she
Which
walks
I don't
in,
get.
nobody is there. She's the first, and then even Dorit's like, well, these are not the first two people I want to see in my party, and it's like, okay, girl.
Yeah.
So Garcelle stumbles into the party, child. I said, oh no, that's so embarrassing.
Hey, Sophie.
So Garcelle stumbles into the party. And then Dorit throws shade at Sutton. I guess Garcelle is like asking Sutton, like, what is she drinking? And this is where it all goes left. So she asks her, what is she drinking? And she's like, it's whatever. And then she's like, oh, does it have alcohol in it? And then Dorit's like, of course it has alcohol. And you're talking to Sutton. Of course it has alcohol in it. And it's like, damn, girl. That's
right. Yeah, she definitely threw shade. And like, I get it. I like if somebody would have said that to me, I probably would have did like Sutton and be like, "What, bitch?" Like, you know, like I get it. Like I don't know. I feel like Dorit reacted like that because she don't like Sutton.
Right.
So I don't know. Because if Bose would have called her a B, I don't know if she would have been like, "You called me a B at my house," and da-da-da-da. She was mad about that purse still. So the fact that she called her a B,
but honestly, excuse me. Honestly, I think Dorit was waiting for anything to like. Dorit, this whole party was sitting already. She was on go. She was waiting for anyone to address her about anything. But I do agree, you don't call somebody a B word in their own home.
Right.
But they throw around those B words a lot.
Yeah. So where's the balance?
Exactly. And I understand why Sutton was upset because it was this whole thing about surrounding her and alcohol. When, to be honest, Dorit never not has a drink in her hand either.
Yeah.
But Sutton does take roadies everywhere she goes. So, I mean, there's that.
And Dorit did have a point. Like, Sutton wants to blame Dorit for her being accused of being an alcoholic last season, but Kyle is the one who brought up the alcohol.
Right.
So, yeah, she needs to get over it, okay? And if she doesn't want to get over it, she needs to actually point the finger at the right person.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. Right. Yeah. I agree.
So then Bose comes. Well, so then they get into this argument, and Dorit's like, I'm leaving. And Kyle and Garcelle run after Sutton, which pisses her off. Which then wasn't your two favorite people that you wanted to show up anyway. So I don't know why you was pissed off. I guess because they wasn't taking her side, whatever.
And those are her friends. Like,
yeah. Those are the closest people to Sutton. So I would expect for them to run after her.
Right. And Dorit was Kyle was trying to get her to come back in the party. Do I think that both of them need to go? No. But also
Garcelle was gonna go anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then Bo shows up, and the first thing she says is, "What's up, bitch?" Like,
hold on, let me take him out. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Come on, Bryson. This is ghetto. I'm sorry. Come on, Baba.
She's a mother first.
Right. Kidney, come get your brother. I'm sorry. So then Buzz walks in and she's like, "What's up, bees?" And then of course Garcelle's like, "Girl, don't be saying that. We just had a big situation with that." Right. Bad timing. Bose is like walking in looking all cute, like, "Hey y'all," like, girl. So look, if I was Bose, I'm probably jumping a little bit, like to where she walked back over to them when they was just all crowded by the door after Erica came in. But like, I would have been annoyed too, because if you gonna leave Sutton, leave. Why you got people congregating by the door? Like, this is very unnecessary. Like, yes, Dorit could have said, "Hey, come stay at my party," but like, if you gonna leave, stand on it.
You keep telling people, "Oh, I'm leaving. I don't need to talk to her." Da, 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 da. So go. Like,
Right. Don't cause a scene. Like if you're gonna exit, just exit.
right.
Like now everyone the first thing they see, like that's why I agree. I'm with Bose. Like this is the first thing people see as they walk in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then Erica doesn't even go past the door threshold because she sees you guys, so she stops and sits there trying to figure out what's going on. And so like it's just unfair to the person who's throwing the party. So if you don't want to be here, don't be here. Like I
Right.
get it.
And I definitely would have been like Erica after I figured out what y'all was talking about. All right, well, I'm about to go get my hot dog. I don't got time for this.
Like, girl, either you gonna go or you gonna stay. Like, which
Right.
one is it?
Right, because I'm staying, and I've waited all year for my one hot dog, so I'm out.
Right. And they hooked them the hot dogs up. You see, she had pickles. I know you don't like pickles, but she
Yeah.
had pickles and everything on there. I was like, ooh, it look good. And Kyle, she couldn't wait to mention, you see, this is what I'm talking about. Sonny made a big deal about me storming out, but she always storms out.
Right.
And
She couldn't wait to
so,
give it back to her after she called her out for Bose.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I don't know who did it, but they asked Sutton to go ask her. I mean, they asked Dorit to go ask Sutton to come back.
Kyle.
Like, girl, no, I'm not
Right.
doing that. Like, we're the ones who beefing. I don't even want her here in the first place. Like,
Right. Why did she come? Like, honestly, like, if you didn't want to be here, just don't.
right.
Like, it is not that deep. Just like you was able to leave early, you was able to say, can't make it. Sorry.
Right. So then it gets awkward because Garcelle calls out Bose for always like, what does she call her? She's basically saying that she's always her spokesperson. She's
Yeah.
like, you need to stop being her spokesperson. And
It's the pot kettle calling the kettle black because
hello?
anything that go down with Sutton, Garcelle is right there running her mouth trying to stand up for Sutton.
Okay.
And I love that
And
they're
it's not
showing
like,
receipts. Run the receipts.
yes, I love that they do. I love that they do that. Like, girl, you're on TV,
Right.
and you do the same. Sutton is never in her own fight. And listen, y'all friends, y'all homegirls in real life. I get it. Like, my best friend never lets me have my own fight, even when I try. So I get it. But at the same time, like, don't point out somebody else what they're doing the same thing that you're doing. Now, Bose do be getting on my nerves with that a little bit sometimes because it's like, okay, girl, we get it. Like, y'all cool, but you just met her.
Yeah. So I think that it's only annoying because they just met. So they don't really have the foundation of the friendship.
And she doesn't always know like the other side of like what's going on. And true, in friendship, sometimes people feel like it doesn't matter. I'm gonna stick up for my friend. But like, girl, you just got here. You don't even know the dynamic of the relationships. You don't really know what's going on. I don't know if this part is jumping either, but do you think it is kind of jumping? Okay, so
you could jump because we might not need to talk about the other stuff.
Yeah, so once we get outside, dang, now I lost my train of thought.
You talking about Kathy?
No. I was gonna say something about because Kyle points out the fact that she had a conversation with Erica, and Erica told her that Bose feels like you're cold, and so Kyle addresses it, and she's like, "When have I ever been cold with you?" And they do the flashback, and we don't see any signs of Kyle being cold to Bose. And she comes to her house, she brings her flowers, they have a little kiki here and there, but like Bose said, they never got deep. But not being deep and being cold to me are two different things.
Yeah, I think she used the wrong word. She should have said, you don't open up to me. Like, you aren't as open with me as you are with other girls in the group.
Right. I agree. But what I was thinking is
her flowers did look better than Dorit's.
They did. They absolutely did. So do you think that she is being a little bit harder on Kyle because she's close to Dorit?
Yes.
I agree.
And I listen, I get it. Dorit, when they first came in, Dorit was the most welcoming to her. So that's her friend. And she's gonna ride for her. And it's a new group, so she gotta cling to somebody. So
And I think with just learning Bose's personality, she likes real people. So she feels like Dorit is real because as soon as she met her, Dorit just poured her whole life story out to her.
Right.
And Kyle has not been that way. Kyle has held her stuff close to the chest.
Yeah, this is the most that Kyle has talked about her and Mauricio's issues this episode all season.
Yes, at the end, because I feel like at that point she was forced to, because you've already been called out about it, and
Mm-hmm.
now Dorit is putting your feet to the fire because she's like, so what really is going on? Because we're cool now, we're in the same position, so you're asking me questions about my relationship. Let's get down to you.
Okay, but did you think the way that they got there was weird? Like, I thought that it was weird that Kyle was so happy that Dorit's life was in shambles. Like, when she saw all the disorganization and stuff everywhere, she was like, "Oh my gosh, this makes me feel so much better." And la la la. It's like, I
I
don't
kind of get
know.
it though, because I think what she was trying to say is it makes her feel better because she's going through the same thing. Because sometimes if you're going through the same situation someone else is going through, and it looks like they're so put together, like that, they're just like, you be thinking like, well, dang, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get myself together? Like, why is my life in shambles? She's going through the same thing and she's holding it all together so well. So I took it as kind of like a relatability thing. Like, her
Mm-hmm.
life is falling apart too. Like, it's not just me. Like, I'm not the only one that can't keep myself together. Because Kaya was vulnerable when she was saying, like, I go home to an empty house. She wasn't vulnerable to the ladies. I do find it strange. She's
Yeah,
more,
only her and Dorit had that talk.
but also not even just that. I feel like she's more vulnerable in her confessionals. Like, the
Yeah.
stuff that she should be telling to the ladies, she's telling just to the camera.
She probably does it in the cameras because it ain't nobody there to judge her or like
Yeah.
call her out if they feel like she's not being completely honest.
Right. And I do think she's still trying to figure it out, because even in her confessionals, like for instance, like when she was talking to Dorit and Dorit was asking her the questions, she was really searching.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, dang, I actually don't even know where I am or how I feel about that, because
Yeah.
I think she's a little avoided. I think she doesn't want to think about the end. Like, where does
Yeah.
this end? Like, where do we go? Like,
Yeah.
because
She's not ready to admit it.
no, her and Mauricio keep everything so vague.
Mm-hmm.
Even with each other, they hug each other, they act like everything is cool. Like, it doesn't seem like there's tension between them.
Yeah.
And
Well, I thought it was crazy that she admitted, she's like, if things don't change, we won't be back together. We'll be in a divorce because I'm not going to live my life like
like
this.
this, yeah.
So, because
I'm
I
glad she
never
said
would have,
that.
yeah, I wouldn't have never expected her to say that. I feel like I thought that she was going to try to hold on and make it seem like there was room for reconciliation like
Yeah,
the whole season. But I
yeah,
applaud her for being real with that.
yeah. Because she never said either way. She was just like,
Mm-hmm.
we're separated. And I love that Dorit was asking direct questions. She was
Yeah,
like, okay, so what happens after 6 months?
right.
You know, and so it forced Kyle to really be honest with herself and with
Mm-hmm.
her. Like,
Yeah,
listen, she was like, well, he's starting to buy furniture instead of staging it. So
right.
I don't really know what's going on. And I think she kind of likes not knowing directly what's going on with him. But we see next episode.
Right. He gonna be kissing in the mouth with some young tender in Greece. And you know who gonna be on the first phone talking mess? Miss Garcelle.
Everybody shoot.
Boy,
Could
of
be
course they so
a game of telephone.
right. But you know Garcelle gonna be the one trying to be all up in the business.
You're right, piecing it all up.
Mm-hmm. Her and Sutton.
Yeah.
Because last year Sutton was the one talking about that Mauricio was having an affair or whatever. So I know they're gonna
Right.
be definitely like trying to bring it up.
Yeah. I mean, I hate watching it. It sucks. But I am glad that, like I said, Dorit is kind of pushing Kyle to open up a little more, because I think she do need to say this stuff out loud. Like, sometimes you need to hear yourself confront it to realize, like, this is your new reality. Because I feel like sometimes she just be kind of like, everything's cool. Like, not saying that, but like her demeanor sometimes is just like,
Yeah. Yeah. She's a fake it till you make it girl.
right. Cause she's still trying to figure her life out, child. So I
Mm-hmm.
get it.
All right, so Summer House. That's it for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, right?
Yeah, that's it, child.
Yeah. So Summer House, it was so like I need Summer House was cool,
Yeah.
but we still waiting for
We
it to
still
warm up.
warming up.
Right, we
Yeah.
still getting out the shock of Carl and Lindsay.
Right.
Yeah, but Kyle is always gonna give you a giggle, child.
Right. He over there. He trying to get them to talk. He over there fixing stuff that's
I
not
know.
no need to be fixed. He in the corner like that would have been me. He like, listen, I need to get the tea firsthand.
Right. Lindsay's like, you always gonna find a way to eavesdrop, huh?
Right,
Absolutely.
right. I mean, I get why Carl didn't come straight in and like be like, hey, like she probably been like, oh, he's being so fake. Like, I don't
Right.
know. I kind of feel like with the way they're both acting, I think Carl is like he knows he does not want to be with her. He's like
Mm-hmm.
over the situation. And I feel like even though Lindsay may not want to necessarily be with him, I don't know if she's over the situation.
I don't think so either. Because look, so Lindsay gives me like if she's over it, I feel like she never really liked him like that anyways, because like how do you go from like being engaged, so in love, and then up, I don't care about him. Up, I'm in love with somebody else in January. Up, we pregnant. Like
In April, like
right. Like it's giving showmance. Like
and then she says, well, remember what I said last summer? And they flash back to her saying that she was going to be pregnant next summer. So
right,
was your goal to just be pregnant next summer, period? You didn't care about who was by?
right, by anybody. And did he call her? Like, if that's the case, like, because that's so random that he would just not talk to you for the 4 years you were with Kyle, randomly hit you up, y'all in love 2 months later and pregnant. Like, it's so fast. It's moving so fast.
Right. I'm like, I don't understand. I feel like that just threw me off. I feel like Lindsay liked him for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
But I think once she like realized like his ambition, his lack of ambition was a turnoff for her. So I
Yeah.
think she kind of realized like, oh, I don't think I want to marry this man.
But so like the thing is, his lack of drive is not a new thing. So why would you get engaged to him when he's always been somebody that doesn't have a lot of drive?
Right.
Like it's not new.
Right.
And like
And
that's what I understand about people. Like people like rush through the dating phase. And it's like the dating phase is like the mirror of what it's gonna be like when y'all get married. Like I don't know if people like I'm sure people think when we get engaged and we get married, click, he's gonna all of a sudden be this ambitious leader, driven, like it's like no, he's already shown you.
right. Yes, we are live. Yes,
huh?
this is live. Everything a man is before you marry him, that's what he's gonna be.
Who is this asking to be your auntie?
I have no idea. I was trying to ignore it. Everything that a man is, he's gonna be that when you guys get married. Like
right.
it's not a magic switch that goes off. There's nothing that unless he was already working on certain things and then that developed as time went on. No, there's no magic switch. Who's gonna wave their wand and make it that way?
Right. And like the scary part is she had all those issues with Carl, but was still gonna marry him. Like Carl is the one who broke off the relationship.
Right.
So, like,
and to me, that was more mature of him because he realized he didn't like her antics. He didn't like her lack of support. He didn't like the way she was lashing out and coming to him sideways. And good for him.
Right.
Because here she is. And if anything, if I was Carl, this would have let me know that I made the right decision. Because any woman that could move on that quickly is like a super red flag. What you say? Because we didn't announce that we were going live. That's why.
Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying about the guy that she's currently dating, I do think that they were in contact with each other. Mm-hmm. I don't think he came out of nowhere. I think that they always kept in contact. She might have said, I'm in a relationship now, but if anything, I'll holler. Yeah, right. Or I'm done or whatever. But I definitely think they came in contact.
For sure. So then the guys go out to, I don't know if it should we call it munch, the man lunch, whatever it was.
I guess.
So they go out, and I don't understand how Jesse is this sprung off of Homegirl, and they just met yesterday.
I
Like,
think Jesse was ready for. Okay, so last summer he didn't have a love interest. I
right. He
think
tried to get with Sierra, and Wes swooped in and stole Sierra from him.
right, and I think because Jesse, he had a hard summer last summer with his cancer scare again. And like, I feel like maybe now he's like, oh, I want to, like, I want to be with somebody. And the
Yeah.
girl is cute.
Yeah, Lexi
She's
is cute.
fun.
She dated David Beckham's son. I
Really?
saw that this morning.
Did you see how beautiful her parents are?
I know. Her mom was giving Yolanda Hadid.
Her mom is gorgeous, and so is her dad.
Doesn't her mom look like Yolanda though from
She
Housewives
does.
of the
She
Yeah.
looks a little younger, but
No, for sure she's younger, but she looked like her. She looked like
yeah.
Yolanda in her younger years.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was so beautiful. And her dad too, that picture of them together, I was like, that's some really nice looking people. So no wonder she oh, we're talking about the show Summer House. It's on Bravo. Yeah, so then what happens after that?
So then they go to, so he's like DMing her, asking for her number because they just met yesterday. And then on the way home, they're like FaceTiming and all the guys are listening. And she's like, when you get home, I'm going to give you a big koala hug. And they all start busting up laughing. So I think it's cute, but I just definitely think that
it's really fast.
They need to slow up. But it's crazy because on the next episode, she's going to be like, so I just want to make sure that we're just getting to know each other.
Yeah, because she just got here too. I think that's smart of her because, like, child just got here. I don't know you like that.
But I wonder if that's gonna make him fall back all the way because they end up having drama where he was trying to holler at Sierra. So I wonder if that made him think, well, if we just getting to know each other, then I'm gonna still do my thing.
Yeah, which is fair.
But I think it's weird though that him and Wes are so close, and now he's trying to holler at Sierra. Like,
that's very strange. But that's what men do. They don't care. Mm-hmm. I think it's weird of her to kind of like do that too, but for Sierra. But I think because she doesn't care about Wes anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So then Carl is cooking dinner with, who was it? Was he cooking it with Kyle? Kyle don't cook, huh?
He was in there. Kyle was in there helping, and then Lindsay was in there cleaning up.
Yeah, that's when he heard the tea.
Yeah, so Kyle is telling Carl like this is a good time to speak to her. Mm-hmm. So he walks over. He's like, "Hey, Lindsay," and she's like, "Hello, Carl." And so they have their awkward exchange, and then he basically tells her like, "I'm happy for you." And everything, like, and she's like, "Thank you," but I feel like he's being warm, she's being cold.
Yeah,
she's like, "Well, thanks,"
because she's still mad. Like, she's really trying to act like she's not, but she's definitely in her feelings.
Yeah, she's definitely in her feelings, and that's
why I think it makes her in her feelings even more by the fact that he's trying to be like cool, like, hey, da da da, like, she wanted him to come in and be just as mad as her.
Yeah. She wanted him to feel some type of way about her being present, and it seems like he doesn't care.
No, he's moved on. He is very affirmed in his decision.
Yeah, and I'm happy for him. Right. So then we have this dinner, and it gets
why did they make a big deal about her thanking Carl for making dinner? Like, that's the polite thing to do.
Well, she kind of, I don't know. I think it was unexpected. Because they're looking at Lindsay and how immature she was on previous seasons and like, petty or whatever. So I think maybe they were expecting the energy that Sierra is giving Wes for Lindsay to give that same energy, which I don't know why she would, because to me, Lindsay seems more of the type to like want to like boss up instead of like looking like she's pressed. So I wouldn't see her coming in like Sierra, because Sierra looks pressed.
Yeah, Sierra is very angry, and she's not hiding it well.
No, and so Paige is like, I love that we can all come in and be so mature, and and then Sierra blows that whole thing up because she comes for Wes. Kyle messy self gonna ask about his haircut. She hates his haircut.
No, and then Wes is like, well, should we have this conversation alone? And he's like, well, I'd love to hear. Like, we should just have it at the table because I'm gonna try to find out the information later.
She's like, everybody wants to know. And here's the thing. I kind of feel Sierra because you blasted me in New York Times or whatever the freaking
New York Times.
Yeah, and so now you want to have a private conversation? Absolutely not. It's gonna be public.
But they didn't even get anything cleared, like,
They
because
couldn't because
he
he didn't
was so
respond.
angry. Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't respond to any of her questions. So
But
you
honestly, like with her energy, I wouldn't have responded either because it's only gonna escalate. Like she's not looking for a resolution. She just wants
no.
to vent.
Well, I think she wanted to vent for sure, but I think she also wanted him to look dumb. Like that's why
Exactly.
she kept like firing off the questions. She knows him well enough to know that he was not going to respond to that. So
Right.
I think her goal was to make him look dumb.
But in turn, I feel like she looked dumb. Like you can't even like be like grown enough to have a conversation. Like, okay, you want to have it at the table, but like let's make it mean something. Like you making little stupid jabs, like how does that get to the bottom of why you're mad? Say, I'm mad because we just had a dinner where we opened up, you're my person, I go to you, I tell you things, and then you tell me that you post this article where you basically are saying that I mean nothing to you. Like that's why I'm pissed off. Like if they
Right.
would have had that conversation, I feel like Wes would have responded. Just like in the room later on, he did.
I think that I think it would have been looked better on her part to say exactly what you said, but I don't think he would have responded because even in his confessionals, he was just like, I was not prepared for that. Like, I don't
Yeah.
really do well in those situations because even look at the reunion when she was like sharing and things like that, he really didn't have much to say. Like, I think he kind of admitted that too. Like, I don't do well in those type of situations. And
Yeah, he
so
probably has to go back and like think and then come back
yeah.
and talk. Yeah.
Yes. I think he probably would have avoided it anyway. Like he wanted the one-on-one because he feels more comfortable with that, which I
Mhm.
understand. But don't get out here and be putting out articles because I feel like he could have still got like his point across to her or
Mhm.
to the world by saying, you know, it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to make her look bad? And
Well,
I
he was
think that's
saying, look, I after the reunion, I wanted to get my side out. I felt like I looked stupid and I wanted to make my like get my vengeance or whatever. I don't know if that's the right
right.
word, but you know, I
Yeah.
wanted to clear the
Yeah.
air and give
He
my
was
side of the story.
pissed. He
Yeah.
was pissed. But I think
But
that's the part.
that's not the platform because that lasts forever.
Exactly. And your time to do that was at the reunion.
Right.
But you
Or
chose.
or at the dinner where she's pouring her heart out to you about her family. Like,
Like
hey, it's fun for me to be sitting at this table listening to you tell me all your business. First of all, we need to resolve the reunion and how I felt based off of the things you were saying.
right,
Then we can get to how you feeling, whatever. I will sit here, I will
right.
empathize, I will listen to your problems,
I
you know?
think that's what pissed Sierra off the most. Is like you had ample opportunity to share what you shared in that article. Like the reunion is specifically for that. It's to air it all out, to get it all out on the table. And you chose to be silent. Then you go on a bigger platform and blast me. And then I'm supposed to sit here and be cool with you? Like, no. So then they go back into the room and he comes in her room to talk to her. And so she looked like she was more receptive. I also think it's interesting, which shows me she is a little toxic, that when she's talking to Paige and Paige is like, girl, don't tell nobody else this. She's like, after all that, I just wanted to make out with him.
Oh, I know. That she's not over him. That's
No,
why she's so mad.
she is clearly not over him. And that's why when they asked her, I think they asked her on the first episode something, and she
Would
said,
she get back with him, or
yeah.
after the reunion, did she see herself getting back with him?
And she's like,
Absolutely.
I'm not
She
going to
sees
answer
herself
that. You
getting back with
answered it.
him this summer.
Yeah, she answered it without answering it. She's like, I don't want to answer that.
Right.
Girl.
If he act right and he gives her the apology that she feels is necessary, she will get back with him tomorrow.
Absolutely. Because the fact that all you can think about after you cussed him out is that you want to make out with him. Like, girl, you're clearly not over it.
Yeah.
But Wes is young. Wes is now on TV. Wes has women in his DMs. He's not trying to lock down anything with you. I think him and Sierra's relationship got too serious too quickly, and she wouldn't sleep with him. He was
Yeah.
looking for a girl to hook up with all summer, and all he got was cuddles. So he said, I need to move on. Like, he's not ready to settle down with anyone. So for her best interest, she needs to move on. And moving on to Jesse is not the answer. So
Right. You think she's doing that for revenge?
I think she's partially doing it for her revenge and partially doing it because she like Jesse, or she thinks he's cute or whatever. Because her
But
and
did she
Paige,
think he was cute last year?
she flirted with him. They flirted with each other. Remember, Jesse kissed her in the mouth.
Oh, that's true.
So
Well,
I feel like they always kind of had that little flirtatious thing going, but also feel like Sierra is the she comes to the summer house and kind of wants to have a little hookup because all she wants to do is lay around. I have
yeah,
a little cold, that's why I have a cough. But yeah, her and Paige, they just like to lay up in the bed all day.
okay.
So if she could have a man to lay up in the bed with all day, then I hope they're right there. Okay. All right. Let's move on.
Yeah. So on Traitors, so Traitors was good this week. So they did this the little meeting where they had to decide whether or not they was gonna recruit another traitor or if they were gonna kill somebody. So
Right.
they could not get it together. Caroline was not budging with Danielle picking Brittany. So they ended
Right.
up killing somebody. So they ended up killing Sam. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So they killed Sam. And of course, everybody's so sad, whatever. I'm worried. Well, no, I ain't worried because this week went pretty good. Without Sam,
Yeah.
they were able to actually get a traitor.
They did good. Yeah, they did do
Yeah,
good. I
I'm
think
not
it
worried.
was a good idea that they got rid of Sam too. Because
Yeah,
Sam was on to them.
yeah. But I mean, honestly, this episode, they exposed each other. So they didn't need Sam. And people started catching on. Like, I never could remember his first name. But
Dylan?
Dylan, thank you.
Yes.
You already knew who I was talking about.
Yes.
Dylan, he was definitely paying close attention to Caroline at that chess game. Like at first he was talking about Danielle and how he's loyal to her and they've been friends for so long. And then he was like how he was struggling to vote for her or whatever. And then he sees Caroline giving the answers at the chess game. Like, what was she thinking? Like,
I don't even know. Okay, so I know Danielle kind of like set it up, but did she know Caroline was going to play into it that well, or was she just throwing like something at the wall and hoping it's going to stick? Because Danielle set that up. Like,
yeah, I think she was throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it stick. Because how would she know that Caroline will have that reaction? Usually Caroline is quiet. So for her to be like jumping in the game, like
yeah. And I think they never discussed like how they were gonna like play it, but they said they did want to like throw them off with some of the questions. But the fact that even like when they were in there answering the questions and Caroline put her own name in it, Danielle was like perfect. Like she's like falling right into place. So I think a lot of it was you could actually see they did show it that it was very strategic on Danielle's part because once she saw when they had that meeting, Danielle was so frustrated because every person that she said, she shot it down. And then she didn't have any ideas. If I was in that room with Caroline, I would have been upset too. Because it's like, okay, girl, you shoot down every idea that I have, but you have no ideas.
Right.
You just keep saying no to everyone. Like, how are we going to fix this? Like, what are we going to do? And Caroline is so obsessed with her lying on her and wanting to get her out that she's forgetting to actually do her job as a traitor.
Yeah, I don't think she cares about resolution. Her only focus was getting out Danielle.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
And so Danielle was like, "Okay, girl, you want to play? You don't want me as your enemy." And she sure did. She sure did show her because I was telling Katrina, I said Danielle went into her big brother bag on that one because she needed a strategy. She couldn't just come out and start telling people like we need to get Caroline out. She needed her to show her hand. And that she did because Dylan, like you said, he was looking solely at Danielle. But Caroline played into her hands so well by speaking up. If I was the two of them, I would have been dead silent, but I would have never been the first one to speak about anything. Like Caroline saying, well, Tom, because remember when Tom it's like, girl, let somebody else say it first and then agree.
Right. Because you're supposed to be thinking like a traitor. So how are you so sure unless you're a traitor?
Right. And when the fact that it was wrong and then the answer was Tom, it was like, that's when Dylan was like, oh, wait a minute. He was like, I'm going to be watching her for the rest of the game. And
Right. So then they go to the round table after this. And I'm so tired of Dolores and Tom and them throwing away their votes, voting for each other.
Burning a vote at this point is so dumb.
Right. I told Kendra, I'm like, next vote, like, I know Danielle is still there, but they need to like work to get Dolores and Tom off, because they like, once the votes get so little, like they need people to actually vote with the table. So if you're just doing your own thing, you are a waste. So
I agree.
They need to get rid of them and then get back to focus on the traitor. Like they already know it's Danielle.
Right.
Well, let me not jump.
I don't know, because Ivar, when he was trying to make his point, they cut him off. I'm like, why would y'all cut him off?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was basically about to put it on the table. Like, I think it's two of them, and I think it's these two right here. So we get one out this week, and we get one out next week.
Right. Well, hopefully he'll still keep that energy and he'll bring it to the table this week. But
I'm like both sides now. Like, I really want Danielle to win just because I like her as a person. But I also want them to get all the traitors, because then that would be like, oh, you know.
Right. The first time they actually,
because they're so
get the money. Right.
They're so close.
Okay. So after they do the round table, and Caroline and Danielle have the most votes, but Caroline ends up getting voted out.
Yes.
So then Danielle goes to the turret and she's like, so then the guy comes in. I don't know what the host name is, but he comes in and he's like, so you have to pick another traitor.
Right.
And even though you pick it, well, if once you pick the traitor, you have to proposition them to become one. And if they choose not to, then they get killed.
Right.
And then if they do, then you guys can still kill somebody tonight.
Right.
So she picks Brittany, which I don't think is a good choice. I would have picked a guy. Well, I don't know who I would have picked.
It's hard because if she, like, say she picked Ivar. Ivar is a known faithful. Dylan is a known faithful. So her best option would to pick Tom, but Tom would have been a terrible traitor. I feel like Tom does not have a poker face. I feel like he would have ended up like ruining it for the both of them. So it's like really slim pickings on the guys, because like if you pick someone who is a known faithful, then nobody's ever going to think that they're a traitor. So you kind of want somebody with you that could possibly be a traitor, so that they'll seek out that person and not you.
Yeah. I wonder if so let's say Brittany decides not to be a traitor. I wonder if when they kill her, they'll let her like leave a message. No. Like, hey, that would be cool. Because they said, or I wonder what this new thing is, like the seer thing. Like maybe they'll let her leave a message, and the seer gets to see who the person is or her message.
Yeah, that would be good, because they can't like, oh, you're in the UK. They can't like give off any hints.
Yeah.
You know? So even if she did leave a message, because I noticed like with all of the people that left, they haven't really said like, with the exception of one person, I think it was Bob the drag queen. Somebody kind of said something a little bit slick, but nobody has said anything alluding to another person.
So, well, not this season, but last season, remember, I think somebody outed Phaedra, and then they got her out the next time.
Oh, I don't remember.
Wait, did Phaedra win? I don't think Phaedra won.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if Phaedra won, but maybe I do remember somebody getting outed last season.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should definitely watch the Traitors if you can. It's pretty good. If you like game shows, not game shows, but competition shows.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, so I'm interested to see it. So we were kind of talking about like if Brittany would accept or not. I think it's kind of dumb not to accept, because if you don't accept, you go home automatically. So at least if you accept it, you have a chance to still play and win the game. Yeah. So if she didn't accept, it would just be like her giving up.
Right.
But I do think if she accepts, she's gonna be pissed at Danielle because she kind of already was like,
It's
if she were,
obvious. I'm
yeah,
an obvious choice.
exactly,
Yeah. Yeah. So they have to find out who the traitor is. And if the traitor lasts all the way until the end and they don't figure it out, then the traitor gets all the money and they go home empty handed. But if they figure out the traitor before the end of the game, then whoever's left gets to split the money.
right. And they don't know, they never know how many traders are left, how many traders are there. Like they just have to keep playing the game till they get to the end to see if there's any traders left. So they've caught 3 traders.
Yeah, 3 traitors.
I feel like this is the most they've ever caught.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so this is what I'm thinking. So if they get Danielle, I wonder. Well, they can't tell them whether or not there's traitors anymore. So I think after they get Danielle, they probably would still go for Brittany.
Yeah,
Because Brittany has been on the radar. Like they think there's only 2 left,
the
but
only
like
the only other person that they're suspecting is Gabby. Dylan is suspecting Gabby.
but Dylan, I feel like is a stupid person like Dolores and Tom.
Yeah,
As far as that.
yeah.
Even he admitted it. He's like, I need to get out of my head and actually focus on what's going on. Like I'm over here doing personal stuff and I need to focus on the game.
Because what has Gabby done to show you that she's a traitor?
Right. Nothing. Be
Nothing.
nice.
Nothing. If anything, I would be suspicious of Dolores.
Yeah.
Because
They said she
Dolores,
was giving away the shield.
right, and she kind of floats under the radar. In that earlier on competition, she was one of the first people to be like, I'll go on the little island thing with her and
Mm-hmm.
what's the name. So to me, Dolores has more signs of being a traitor. Tom, I feel like they feel like he's too dumb to be a traitor.
Yeah.
So
They just don't like him because he cheated on Ariana.
right. Yeah. So we'll see next week how everything goes. It should be spiced up a little bit because I'm curious to see if Danielle's going to be like, I mean, if Brittany's going to be like pissed at Danielle and like how their dynamic is going to play well together. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, they win money at the end of the show. I don't know. So they every week they fill up the prize pot, and at the end, whoever wins splits it. So if there's multiple traders, the traders split it. If there's multiple faithfuls, then the faithfuls split it.
But don't they have like a choice? Like the last part, something about somebody have a choice to split it or not. The trade is it the traders?
I think. Well, so last season when I watched, didn't they like throw the little sandbags in? Yeah. And they had to keep doing that, and then whoever lost, then they would. That's how they got.
That's how they win, and then
and then they could stop or they could keep going. Yeah,
yeah, and they get to choose if they want to share it or not.
Yeah,
because that's why Caroline was like, I would be dumb to let Danielle come in here so the 2 of you could win together and then cut me out at the end, which I think was true. Like,
yeah,
she was smart about that. But.
So I think so. That's the only reason why I think Danielle is smart about picking Brittany as a traitor, because if they're on opposite sides, it's either one or the other that could win the money. But if they're both traitors and they both make it to the end, then they can split the pot together.
Yeah, and that's what she was saying. She was like, I would love to split it with my girl at the end. So she could tell her, like, hey, girl, it wasn't looking too good for y'all on the other side. So I had to bring you on over here so that we could win this money.
Girl, I don't know what is going on, but all the dogs want to bark in the neighborhood, and Sophie got to put in her say. Like, it's driving me crazy.
But that wraps us up for this episode anyway. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for joining us on live. For those who have joined us on live, make sure you guys, if you're watching now, you can leave comments, let us know what you guys thought about the episode. Please let us know if you guys are watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta or Miami. So
and maths. My girl is caught up now. So we can talk.
I'm caught up on Married at First Sight, you guys. So next episode, we're gonna talk about Married at First Sight because
Tell them, was it worth you watching those episodes?
Listen, in the beginning, I was like, okay. But it got real juicy. Never in the history of Married at First Sight have we seen any of this happen. The things that have happened between episode 14 to 16, never in history have we seen this. So if you guys have watched, go ahead and binge it until we see you guys next week.
Yes. It's worth it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one.
Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.
Bye.